I think everyone has experienced burnout at some point in their lives. That feeling where you don't feel like you can actually do anything, you can't focus, you don't have physical strength, and you feel emotionally depleted. You can't commit to things and you just feel overwhelmed. I would say burnout is not something that is really discussed within the African community. Africa in itself is such a busy continent, and here in Cameroon, I feel like burnout isn't something that is actually acknowledged. If you are feeling tired and lazy, I think people will just expect you to just keep it going, just be strong, be tough, and keep it moving. Unfortunately, people who are insensitive can misunderstand people going through burnout as people being lazy or people not being conscious of the environment.
Thank you very much.
Previously, the word burnout was used to describe mostly fatigue for people who worked, but now, with a deeper understanding, we see that it has got to do with much more chronic stress and also trauma. These two things can lead to a lot of burnout. When you have a great imbalance in your work and your rest routine, you work more than you rest for a long period of time, it's only a matter of time that your body or your mind is going to start complaining and break down. And so there has to be a balance. But unfortunately, we live in a world where, to be honest, there is no balance. You're literally every day trying to find the balance, trying to juggle work, trying to juggle your emotional life, trying to juggle your spiritual life, trying to juggle your finances, your friendships. You are playing a balancing act your whole life. So I don't feel like there's a one solution to this problem. It's actually all about finding ways to cope and finding ways to heal and finding ways to incorporate boundaries that will allow you to live the life that you can within your means. One could experience chronic stress because of perhaps relationships that are not working well in your life. It could be a romantic relationship, it could be a parental relationship, any kind of relationship. When you experience a lot of strain because of that particular relationship. And so when you have a break in these core relationships, it can lead to a lot of stress, and when not resolved over a period of time, can turn to chronic stress as well. Just being in an environment, this is now called environmental stress, being in an environment that is not conducive positively to your mind, not conducive positively to other aspects of your life. For example, you cannot socialize, you cannot do the things you love to do. Being in that low state for a long time because of your environment can also lead to chronic stress and burnout with time. There are also instances where chronic stress can lead to trauma. For example, if you're taking care of a parent and their health is deteriorating over a period of time, you begin with chronic stress and then you end up with the trauma of seeing that parent, frail over a period of time. Trauma is something that is very, very broad. It's not something that can be fit into a box. Traumatic experience could be abuse, and abuse is very, very broad. You can have emotional abuse, you can have physical abuse, you can have sexual abuse, you can have domestic violence, which falls under physical abuse, and even verbal abuse as well. It's very broad. And I feel like in Africa, oh man, it's something that is not taken seriously at all, especially things like emotional and verbal abuse, where you cannot really see physical harm but it does so much damage to someone internally. It's really sad to see that here in Africa, someone will only acknowledge that something was wrong when it's already too late. You will hear that someone did this to themselves and that they're no more. And that's the only time where people are like, oh, it means they were going through something. But the entire time when they were showing symptoms and signs of trying to recover from trauma, everybody was probably rolling their eyes like, this person is just being lazy or whatever. So we live in a very insensitive society, I must say. and that's the reason why you have to take it upon yourself to put boundaries in place to help protect your mind. Burnout is just a tiny bit of what people who go through trauma go through. We have not even gotten into post-traumatic stress disorder. I have not even gone into anxiety and depression. Burnout is just one of so many things that they battle on a day-to-day basis.
There are certain foods that can increase one's feeling of anxiety, like foods that contain caffeine, that's Coke and coffee. Research actually proves this. You may just feel a little agitated and irritated and perhaps even have heart palpitations. These are all signs that your body is reacting negatively to these foods. So you just need to be aware of them and reduce their intake so as not to make yourself feel more stressed out.
Stay away from negative people or limit your conversations with them as much as possible. People who are too critical, people who are complainers, people who carry a negative energy. I don't know if you know what I mean. They just have hover like a dark cloud, you know, and they're very critical about you and generally don't really have something positive to say. They tell your day from bright to gloomy, and someone going through burnout, the last thing you need is more dark clouds hovering over you because you're already battling with a lot. Limit your conversation. If it means removing yourself physically or maybe just, you know, texting them less or talking to them less or reducing your interaction in the social environment, whatever you need to do, do it. Another thing that people often neglect is actually your environment in your home. When my room is cluttered, when there is so much, when stuff is all over the place, it annoys me because I'm an organized person. So when things are not in the right place, in fact, my day already is not even starting well. Something else that can cause one to feel pressure actually is to-do lists. To-do lists, yes, they help organize your day, but sometimes you can feel pressured if you're not doing everything on the list, which is now counterproductive because when you feel pressured, you cannot concentrate and you cannot get things done. So do what you can and leave the rest for the next day. Acknowledge your efforts. I'm pretty sure that there are little things you can see throughout the day that are milestones that you have achieved. So take a breather, pat yourself in the back. I feel like we are such a performative generation. You just want to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Productivity, productivity, productivity. Oh my God, we are such a productivity obsessed generation. So please take time to clap for yourself and say, you know what, I am doing good. Sleep more, but to sleep more you need to get your mind into a state where it can be ready to sleep. So whatever might cause you to be rattled just before you fall asleep, try to avoid that so that you prepare yourself to be in a rested state. I sometimes find that when I'm browsing on my phone late at night just before I go to sleep, I might see something that will annoy me and turn me off the wrong way, and I might not even be able to sleep well for the rest of that night. Whereas if I had maybe kept my phone away or distracted myself looking at something more positive, I'll be within a peaceful state of mind to actually sleep. Try to make more time to just unwind and do the little things that you enjoy doing. Rest doesn't just mean going to sleep. Rest might mean doing something different to what you are used to doing. For me, while I was in South Africa, I totally enjoyed editing YouTube videos. Filming, editing, and uploading videos really relaxes me, so that's something that I do when I want to wind down. If certain things trigger you online, perhaps you can block the accounts that trigger you, unfollow the people that trigger you, or stay away from applications that trigger you once in a while. Anything that can keep your body physically active can definitely improve your mood. So I would encourage you to take up some exercise. I'm not a gym person, I'm more an outdoor person because I love seeing, you know, my environment. So if that's you, then we are together. I'm doing a lot of research on slow living at the moment. Not slow in the sense of doing everything slowly or not progressing in life, but slow in the sense of just being content with where one finds themselves and not striving to fit within what society dictates. It's the ideal life. actually being conscious and being intentional and purposeful in one's life. That's what slow living is about. It's not trying to meet up with the next thing, or you know, trying to move with the hype and all of that. It's literally just gathering yourself together and focusing on life in the present, in the now, and being content with how you live your life. Something that I cannot end this video without saying is to seek therapy. If you're going through trauma, it's one of those things that it cannot just disappear overnight. And chronic stress as well, sometimes it will require some therapy. So in our African community, once again, it is something that is not even well understood, and the role of therapy is not really should I say expanded on, and so people don't really seek therapy as a result. But I'm so happy that with the with the rise of technology and social media usage, there's so much more awareness being created about therapy. And I know some Christians as well, they feel like as a Christian you shouldn't seek therapy, but I'm like, where did you get that one from? If you are needing help emotionally, therapists are like your doctors for your mind. That's what they are trained for. So I would encourage you to seek therapy, medical therapy, not just speaking to someone like a friend, actually someone who is trained, to help walk you through what you are going through. I think it's very, very important, and I encourage anyone and everyone to seek therapy to heal through, the parts of life that cannot physically be seen.
It is my first time doing this kind of video on the channel, and I'm really wanting to start a mindful living series. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think genuinely about this kind of video, and if you would like to see more of such content on my channel.